Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. Not long since I talked about this guy when I opened him on an episode of Only One Fans, but this is episode 231 of the Vintage Collection Quickshot series because it is VC 231. And also, as I picked that up there, it reminded me, this is thick cardstock, which is good to have that back. Well done, Hasbro. So, yeah, this figure, well, it's a tremendous Stormtrooper. Who the hell are we kidding? It's very good. But I do have a few issues with it. And I've copped out a little bit here because I was going to do a full-on comparison with other Stormtroopers. But do you know what? I think I might do that in a separate video because there are a fair few. But I have brought along with me these other two here. This one came in the 4-pack, which is the best one of the ones that came in that pack because there was a few paint application issues. And this is the 5 POA one, which everyone raved about that. But I was always a little bit lukewarm on it because it had a decent head sculpt, but it was let down by the fact it was a 5 POA body. I mean, I know that's a nod to the past, but I always thought his shoulders looked really they weren't broad enough, you know, and there was something not right with it, you know, put it that way. It wasn't balanced enough. He needed a wider, broader spread. But yeah, I would have loved to have brought in the VC145, is it? Let me think about that. The Rogue One. I think it's 140, is it? Yeah. I didn't bring that with me. I was gonna. And also, it's worth a mention the, well, he's right there, actually. That one there, that's a really good one as well. But again, I'll do a separate video looking at all of them. And I also encourage Daniel Chart, if you are watching, you should do a video on Stormtroopers because he's quite knowledgeable about, well, very knowledgeable about, well, he's well into his Stormtroopers, and he'll talk to you more about all very small features that we'll all miss, the lay person, but he knows about what's definitive and not really. But one thing that is a blessing about this one that's come on a Star Wars chase is the fact that he's got this holster there. That was a thing that irked a lot of people. I personally didn't care. The one that came for the Rogue One line was brilliant. It was like this, but better. The 5 POA one. That also came in the Rogue One line. But it was really great. It was the first time you saw this really much improved head sculpt, which you'll see when he turns around, but with an articulated body. And yeah, and I've said this 1,000 times on my channel. I was so pleased when they made this because it was doing my head in. A bit like the fact that we haven't got Dooku or an AT-AT driver. It still bugs me now. The fact that the only New Hope card we had for a Stormtrooper was the one with George Lucas on it. And that's on my wall over there, actually. Look over there, you see this? But backstage, look here. On this door here, it used to be on my Mandalorian figures, but now I've got all my Vaders and all my Stormies on that wall there. You can see that was the first Vintage Collection, TVC Vintage Collection Stormtroopers, Return and Empire. And yeah, New Hope's very important. So the only thing remaining, oops, sorry, excuse me a minute. Sorry about that, problem with the tripod legs. The only New Hope cards that we haven't got yet are C-3PO, I think. I think we've had everything else. We've had a New Hope Chewbacca, that was one that was outstanding. Obviously we've had R2, we've had this guy. I think it's only really C-3PO that they've not done a modern day figure for in TVC. Oh, I'm lying to you. I'm bloody lying to you. We haven't got Luke, Leia, and Han, goddammit, the most important ones. Although we have had them in the VOTC, so one could argue, you know, you've got them in kind of the modern era, 2004, in the 2000s onwards, as opposed to like getting an 80s one, which will, you know, they're not only highly expensive, but getting them in a decent condition is difficult, which means that they're rarer and hence more expensive. But right, enough waffle, let's talk about this figure. The problem I have with it is the peg holes, really annoying. And I've just been reviewing Cosca Reeves, and she had brilliant peg holes. She had small feet as well, but the peg holes were phenomenal. But look at that. It's not good enough, and it's right on the heels. I kept saying to people, and people argued me down on this, I thought that they could put the peg hole more in the centre. There's a bit more depth there, but no, actually I scratched that because Cosca Reeves has done right on the heel and she's done right. It's deep enough. I don't know why they can't get this guy right. So it's inconsistent. There's a few Boba Fett's that are dodgy as well. Morak Boba Fett, or at least the Tatooine one, Book of Boba Fett has got them on the toes of his feet, and they were better, I found. Anyway, but this is a lovely looking figure. You can't knock how it looks. It's brilliant. They've nailed the sculpt of the modern day Stormtrooper. Sometimes the only thing that goes wrong with them is the paint application. For example, this guy is good, pretty much the same kind of figure, I guess, except there's no holster. It's a bit like the one from Rogue One. But some of the ones that came in this pack, whoever did the paint effed up. If you look here, you see that rim, you've got the black, then you've got this ridge there that they were painted in. So their eyes look massive. And this guy, let's check this one out. It just looks all right, to be honest. It's okay. But these ones seemed a little more, they seem smaller. Look at that. Like the pupils that have contracted. So again, loads of people raved about these 5 POAs, but I wasn't really that convinced. I was convinced when they put that Rogue One 140 out, which is more or less what this is. I wish I'd brought that along now since I'm talking about it so much. But really, I should be talking about VC131, or 231 even, sorry. But look at that. Even from that angle, the Stormtrooper looks so great. I love the way they look from this angle. I love that pattern there. So iconic. I love the 2 squares or whatever there. Is that a trapezium? Is that a trapezium shape? I don't know. But they're brilliant, aren't they? And what they need to do, Hasbro, is bring out more Trooper packs. Because we never got... the only reason I got that Trooper pack was because my good friend Lara V sent me a box from USA. I had no chance otherwise. There's a shot for you, ladies and gentlemen, with him spinning with the card in the background. Very nice. The articulation is full articulation. And I don't want to bore you with articulation talk. Go check out someone else's review if you want me to. If you want to see how he moves, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you the pose and how good it looks once it's posed. But kind of a wide stance there. Wide stance because it was the best way I could get him to get. That was to do with the peg hole situation, to get him standing on it, and he did a double grip as he was falling around everywhere. And here it is in the bubble, ladies and gentlemen. And that classic New Hope image. Brilliant, isn't it, that? Right in on the figure there. Yeah, look at that. It's a lovely, lovely sculpt, that. But I think Daniel, who's a bit of a Stormtrooper connoisseur, had a little bit of an issue with it. It still wasn't right in his eyes. So Daniel hopefully will either share that in the comments here or do a video on it, Dan. But look at that. Classic, isn't it? A New Hope is such a great film. And what I love about Andor is the fact that it makes all those events more significant. Defeating the Empire, battling on that Death Star. God, that must have really pissed off the Emperor, mustn't it? 2 decades building that thing. And Luke Skywalker blew it up in as many minutes. God, were they lucky to find Luke Skywalker, the rebels? It was like the wild card that they didn't foresee that. Just drink it in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great Stormtrooper. I have been criticising certain things, but I suppose there's others out there who probably criticised it more than I, who found other faults with it being definitive or not. For me, that's definitive. In fact, it's been definitive since VC 140. I hope I'm saying that right. Or was it 145? I can't really remember. But all in all, it's just fantastic. I'd love it even more if the peg holes were deeper. And speaking of peg holes, this one had better peg holes, but it hasn't got rocker ankles, this one. This is the one that came out of that 4-pack. It just sort of plugs on a little deeper. Oh, and this guy. Look at this. Look how flat he is on the peg. Right on it, man. What do you like? Do you like rocker ankles or not? I don't mind them, but as long as the peg holes are deep enough. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching that. What a great figure. Let's just watch it spin one final time. I have been only One Kenobi. If you are new round here to this channel, do subscribe, hit the like button. Take it a step further if you are a long-time viewer. Check out my Patreon, where we've got a few backstage videos in the making as it is. Extra viewing and footage. Get access to 150 extra videos and more when you become a Patreon member. What an awesome figure. Thank you for sharing it with me. Just lost the focus as he moved away there. That's because the card back's in the background. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.